So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good day, everyone. My name is Doran Allen Carr. I'm alumni of FLCC, graduated May of 2016, and I'm going to read our invocation. Creator of all, Alpha and Omega, Abba, Father. Hear this prayer of petition. Let your almighty presence and all that is within it not only bless this school right now, but our brothers and sisters throughout this world. We gather here today in your mighty presence, coming before you boldly and with open hearts, thankful for the haves and the have-nots, thankful for the past, the present, and the future, thankful for the old and longing for the new, thankful for your correction, your mercy, peace, joy, guidance, protection, direction, and deliverance from opposition of the old and of the new. By your grace and will, we are gathered here for purpose. At this time, we recognize the much anticipated inauguration of our president, Dr. Robert Nye, a man who is well-deserving, humble, and determined to lead your people as you lead your sheep. Let your anointed hands bless the body and spirit of our president, whom we exalt up to you, that he leads with righteousness, reverence, confidence, boldness, without doubt, and most importantly, with the foundation of your love. Maintain his surroundings and all that surround him, keeping his mind and feet from all evil. Let us keep your love and take up your protection so that we are victorious in all places, at all times, and in the faces of all wickedness. Let your heavenly angels descend in numbers and chariots upon this college, this campus, this city, this state, this county, and this world. Let them minister to your children that we may walk in our preordained path. Thy will shall always be done, and determined shall we remain in pursuit of it. For the entire Nye family, for Finger Lakes Community College, Canandaigua, our families, and those who are here with us today, have your way in us, Lord. Let us not fear nor harden our hearts towards change that is inevitable. Amen.
Please be seated. Good afternoon. I'm Cassie Kent, Associate Vice President of Instruction, and I have the pleasure of welcoming our distinguished guests, alumni, faculty, staff, students, and community members. Today marks a historic moment in Finger Lakes Community College history. The installation of a new college president is an opportunity to pause and reflect on the institution's history and its mission while looking towards the future. It is a time to honor our connections and reaffirm our values. At this time, I would like to introduce the members of the platform party. Starting in the back row on my right, would you please stand as I introduce you and remain standing until I have completed the row. FLCC Trustee Emeritus, Dr. Karen Davison Lazy. FLCC President Emeritus, Dr. Barbara Risser. Current FLCC trustees, Barbara Hamlin, Jeffrey Astles, Donald Cass, Joan Guise, John Hicks, Stephen Martin, and Richard Russell. Dr. Therese Bushner, Interim Provost and Vice President of Academic and Student Affairs. James Fisher, Senior Vice President of Administration and Finance. Carol Urbatus, Vice President of Enrollment Management. Grace Loomis, Human Resource Officer. Dr. Deborah Ortloff, Chief Planning Officer. John Taylor, Chief Information Officer, and Joanna Duncan Poitier, Senior Vice Chancellor for Community Colleges and the Education Pipeline for the State University of New York. And in the front row, on my right. Lori Vale, instructor of English. Doran Allen Carr, class of 2016. William Mascree, president of the Student Corporation. Eric McEnroy, campus safety peace officer, representing Civil Service Employees Association. Sarah Moon, director of library and learning resources, representing the Professional Association. Jack Marin, chairman of the Ontario County Board of Supervisors. Donna Mihalik, chairwoman of the FLCC Board of Trustees. Liz Brownell, professor of graphic design and today's faculty marshal. She is standing in for Susan McCarthy, who unfortunately could not be with us today. Michael Nizzolio, retired New York State Senator and current partner at Harris Beach. Colonel Charles Allen, professor of cultural science at the Army War College. Dr. William Griscom, president of Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology. Dr. Christina Johnson, chancellor of the State University of New York. And, of course, Dr. Robert K. Nye, president of Finger Lakes Community College. We have several more distinguished guests in the audience today, including New York State Senator Pamela Helming, Canandaigua Town Supervisor Gregory Westbrook, Bristol Supervisor Robert Green, and Karen Mosier, Executive Director of the New York Community College Trustees Organization. Thank you all for joining us today. This is indeed a great day for the college. Nearly 50 years ago, during the spring 1968 semester, the first community college of the Finger Lakes students began credit-bearing classes at buildings and storefronts throughout downtown Canandaigua. Today's celebration of the investiture of the 5th president of our college links the past with what lies ahead. The Finger Lakes Community College family thanks you for joining us on this auspicious occasion and for sharing with us our hopes, our pride, and our joy. It is my pleasure to ask representatives of faculty, staff, and students to deliver greetings.
Good afternoon. I am Officer Eric McEnroy, representing the support staff at FLCC. Today's event is a reminder to reflect on and celebrate our institutional values of vitality, inquiry, perseverance, and interconnectedness. I have the privilege of presenting a gift inspired by the FLCC value of inquiry. As a source of light, this lantern symbolizes the search for knowledge and truth, which is central to our mission as a community college.
Good afternoon. I am Sarah Moon, Director of Library Learning Resources. Dr. Nye, as a member of the professional staff, I bring to you a gift to represent the institutional value of interconnectedness. We are present in every corner of the college. Like our varied disciplines, each square of this quilt is a finely crafted work in itself, but stitched together, they form a new whole that is striking for its breadth and variety.
I am Liz Brownell, a member of the Visual and Performing Arts faculty. On behalf of FLCC faculty, I welcome you all. I wish to present as a gift to Dr. Nye this vessel of water to symbolize the college's value of vitality. Water, with its power to sustain life, represents the ability each of us has to make FLCC a place where our students can thrive. We entrust you with this symbol so that you will continue to water the roots of FLCC to ensure a sustainable future for students, faculty, and staff, and for the community we serve.
Hello, I'm Will Maskery, the Student Corporation President here at FLCC. I am honored to share this gift on behalf of the students. This native tree, the sweet gum, the American sweet gum, is known for its brilliance of its fall foliage and the canopy that broadens as it matures, symbolizing the rewards of perseverance. In sharing these gifts, today, we renew our commitment to sharing the values they represent with each other. Thank you.
Thank you to our greeters and the wonderful gifts they have offered as symbols of FLCC values. I now have the great honor of introducing our new State University of New York Chancellor, Christina Johnson, who assumed her role just this month for the formal investiture of Dr. Robert Nye as president of Finger Lakes Community College. She will present him with the college seal, adopted by the Board of Trustees earlier this year after thoughtful discussion within the FLCC community. The seal bears the values of FLCC and the image of an oak tree drawing its strength from the Finger Lakes.
Thank you very much, Cassie. Honorary guests, including trustees, county supervisor, legislators, fellow academic leaders, faculty, students, staff, family, and friends, on behalf of the State University System of New York and its Board of Trustees, I bring you greetings and congratulations on this tremendous day for Finger Lakes Community College as we install your fifth president, Dr. Robert Nye. It's a great pleasure for me to be here at Finger Lakes Community College to see for the first time the intrinsic beauty of the campus, to recognize the rigorous academics, from conservation to viticulture and nursing, and all the innovative programs and projects that engage FLCC. I never know, should I say FLCC or Finger Lakes, so FLCC with the local and global communities, as well as see these values in action. Although I've been Chancellor of SUNY for less than a month, I come to appreciate the diversity and the distinctiveness of our 64 colleges and campuses and the unique and important role they play in building better communities, particularly among our 30 community colleges. Also, I know there's nothing more important than finding the right leader for an institution, because you don't outsource leadership. Great leaders come into an institution and they build upon existing excellence with respect for the past, realism of the present, and optimism for the future. Today we celebrate the fact that we have found such a leader in Dr. Robert Nye. I understand the process was highly selective and inclusive, with input from Board of Trustees, elected officials, community leaders, students, faculty, and staff. The presidential search process at SUNY is quite rigorous, so I'd like to acknowledge the Finger Lakes Community College trustee, Stephen Martin, for his time and dedication, and leadership in chairing the search committee, and the chair of the Finger Lakes Board of Trustees, Donna Mihalik, for her leadership during the search process and continuing work on behalf of the college. Our new president, Dr. Robert Nye, often says, "It's not about me," and then he asks the critical question of any public civic leader: what can I do to help? A very thoughtful question. Prior to accepting the presidency at Finger Lakes, Dr. Nye had a distinguished military and academic career, so it's no surprise that he understands and embodies the concept of the servant leader. He served as the Vice President for Academic Affairs at Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology, and before that he was Deputy Provost, Deputy Dean, and Director of Leadership Studies at the United States Army War College and Assistant Professor of Military Science at Cornell University. Even more impressive, Dr. Nye served as Chief Strategist for the Deputy Commanding General of the U.S. Forces in Iraq. He retired at the full rank of Colonel in the U.S. Army and was awarded 2 Bronze Stars. Thank you for your service. There is no doubt that Dr. Nye's many years of service to our country and his record of leadership in the Army informs his leadership style on campus. He is a strategist and a person who knows how to get things done. I've been told Dr. Nye is an authentic leader, kind and caring, with a great sense of humor. In fact, when we were walking up here today, he commented that his internship is finally over and now he's ready to take on the mantle of being your 5th president. His colleagues and support staff here on campus describe him as honorable and ethical, and he's always pushing staff and students to do the right thing. I look forward to working with Dr. Nye and the Finger Lakes Community College trustees, faculty, staff, and students as we begin this next chapter in SUNY history together. It is my great honor to ask Dr. Nye to join me at the podium. Dr. Nye, you have the most important privilege and responsibility of leading Finger Lakes Community College, established in 1965, to the fulfillment of its great promise as an institution of higher learning and an integral partner in the region. As Chief Executive Officer, you are assigned all the powers, duties, and responsibilities appropriate to the post. We are confident that under your leadership, this institution, pursuing the highest traditions of teaching, scholarship, and public service, will continue its dedication to this region and the state, the nation, and the world. By the virtue of the power vested in me by the State University of New York, I hereby present you, friends of the college, the 5th president of the Finger Lakes Community College, Dr. Robert K. Nye. I guess I get to put this on you now.
Yeah, I guess you do, yeah. They didn't tell you that, huh? Thank you so much.
Oh, that's great. Awesome.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Look forward to working with you.
I look forward to working with you. Congratulations, Dr. Nye.
Chancellor Johnson, thank you for that. I'm truly humble. I'm thankful that you're here today, that you have chosen our community college as the first community college for you to visit and be part of an investiture, and we truly appreciate it. And we appreciate your leadership. Just a few times that we've been together, I can see you're a great leader, and we're looking forward to great things working with you and the entire SUNY team in the future. So thank you. A couple other people to recognize real quick before I go to my formal speech, and those are the alumni that are out here. 50 years of alumni just marched down here, and that's just phenomenal from the very first graduate. And although they've taken off, they represented our country, and I was proud to be here to watch the 10th Mountain Division Color Guard come and represent this ceremony. So I say thank you to the 10th Mountain Division soldiers and climb to glory. Chancellor Johnson, Vice Chancellor Duncan Portier, Senators Helming, Nozzolio, Assembly Persons, County Supervisor Marin, County Administrator Kraus, FLCC Board of Trustees, alumni, distinguished members of the community, faculty, staff, students, and to my peers and friends that are here today, I say greetings, and I say thank you for being here in this wonderful warm afternoon. I am honored and humbled to be standing before you today, and indeed, I would not be here without the thoughtful support of many individuals. And I'd like to start off by thanking those organizers of this event, Amy Polly, Sarah Whiffen, Susan McCarthy, Donna Mahalik, and many others. I know this was very time-consuming for all of you, and I'm very, very appreciative and appreciative of your dedicated efforts. Earlier today, there were a ton of other people that are named, so I will tell you that I also know there are many, many others who supported this event behind the scenes, and they do so now, even as I speak. So to all of you that supported this event today and are participating, I say thank you. I'd also like to thank the college presidents and their delegates that are here today. I'm honored to be part of such a distinguished group, and I'm very thankful for your friendship and support as I've gotten to know many of you over this past year. And that also includes Dr. Barbara Risser, my predecessor over here. Barbara, thank you for coming back home to FLCC to celebrate this event. I've said this before, and I'll say it again now. I have big shoes to fill. I'd also like to especially thank my two guests, Colonel Retired Chuck Allen and President Bill Griscom, for traveling from Pennsylvania to participate in this celebration today. Chuck has the distinction of the longest association with my academic career, beginning when I took his creative thinking course while I was a student at the Army War College. And later, he was a mentor, a peer, a collaborator, a trusted advisor, and a friend while I was assigned at the Army War College. Chuck's unbridled and infectious enthusiasm for teaching and for life have greatly impacted me, and I try to emulate him every day, and I'm trying to do it right now, Chuck, so thank you. When I retired from the Army, I was just plain lucky to have the honor to work for President Bill Griscom at Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology as his chief academic officer. I experienced an unparalleled leadership laboratory while working for him. Behind Bill's exceptional grace and humility is a drive to change lives. And in doing so, he's built a top two-year college in Pennsylvania, which is also nationally recognized by the Aspen Institute. Every day, Bill demonstrated what right looks like for a college president, and I'm so thankful for the time that I had with him to learn how to be a president. Bill, thank you. To both of you, I need to say it means the world to have you here today, so thank you again. And finally, to my wife, Sue, down there in the corner, words cannot adequately express my love and admiration for you over nearly 30 years of marriage. Multiple moves, multiple deployments, often raising our children alone while I was away, but always encouraging and supporting me in our adventures together. I am looking forward to our adventure here in the Finger Lakes to be our best ever. I'm really appreciating this clapping. Thank you. It gives me my pause so I can make this speech go well. So thank you. There are so many people here that all of you in this crowd that deserve recognition, beginning with the Board of Trustees, and then from there, cabinet and staff, the faculty, the students, the community that's here today, so many people that I wish I could thank. From the first day, I really do wish I could thank all of you and recognize you individually, but I hope you'll understand. But I can tell you this, from the first day that I stepped on this campus, I could sense an enthusiasm among this amazing campus and this amazing community. And I see that enthusiasm every day in the work that everyone does for our college, striving to make a difference for our students. And speaking of students over there on the left side, my left side, I just want to tell you that that you are why we're here. You are here why we come here every day to work. And I'd like to tell you that you inspire us every day to do our best. Thank you for the privilege of serving you. I am so proud and thankful to be part of our FLCC team, striving every day to be a beacon of light, a welcome and learning cultural environment, and a welcome learning community. I'm reminded of a sermon delivered in 1630 by John Winthrop aboard the ship Arabella to encourage settlers of what would become the city of Boston. He said the city would become a city upon the hill watched by the world. And this notion has been interpreted in many ways over the years and used by President Kennedy, President Reagan, and President Obama. Through the years, the idea of the city on the hill had implied that we as American citizens, through the American spirit, should aspire to the ideals of freedom, democracy, and opportunity, thereby setting an example for the entire world. In some ways, I believe that our college is like that city upon a hill, that we are the college upon a hill, Lincoln Hill to be exact. We have a mission to serve as a dynamic learning resource, empowering our students to succeed and fueling the cultural and economic vitality of our region. And our college has a bold vision to build innovative programs to meet evolving educational needs, drawing on partnerships in the community, while offering an educational environment that is intentionally designed to engage our students as learners and to propel them to completion, graduation, and achieve their dreams. Our college gives anyone who walks through our doors the ability to receive an education or training, to illuminate lives, and provide an opportunity to learn, grow, prosper, and achieve dreams. But we do not do it alone up here in Lincoln Hill, but we do so with the trust and the cooperation and the collaboration of so many in our community, from our local businesses to our nonprofit organizations, to our schools, to our faith-based organizations, to our elected officials and our administrators, and many, many others. We cannot go it alone. But while the notion of the city or the college on the hill and the ideals it implies are lofty, it does not do justice to the turbulence of societal challenges that are faced in the heat of the moment from generation to generation. We, as a society, are still striving to achieve the ideals espoused by the founders of our country, but we find ourselves in a period of social discard, and racial disharmony. We are still enmeshed in two theaters of war as a result of the 9/11 tragedy. And we face societal changes as a result of technology. Changes to our economy that businesses and educators alike are just beginning to grasp. Just think about it for a minute. Think about the impact of the internet, of the iPhone, robotics, Amazon, and continued educational and economic globalism. But 50 years ago, wise and industrious members of our community who strove to create this college faced similar challenges and fears. 50 years ago, there was also social discord and racial disharmony. A rapidly industrialized economy close to achieving the moonshot. Transistors, transistor radios, computers, a grand new interstate highway system that enabled flight to the suburbs, and an unpopular war in Vietnam. Now, I don't tell you this to bring you down or to be all gloom and doom. I tell you this because we should celebrate and highlight something very important. Regardless of the challenges that our college and our community faced 50 years ago, 30 years ago, 10 years ago, or even now, there is one constant right here, right now, on this hill, on this college campus, that even while the name changed from the College of the Finger Lakes to the Finger Lakes Community College, that one constant has been our institution of dedicated servants, educators, and students, along with the collaboration and support of so many members of our community, all striving towards making a difference and maximizing every opportunity for anyone who walks through our doors to feel they're genuinely welcomed, to feel at home, to be part of a diverse, inclusive learning community, to succeed, graduate, and achieve their dreams and goals. From our inception and teaching in storefronts to a campus on Lincoln Hill, to multiple campuses and growth of programs and matriculated students that our founders could never have imagined. We now stand on the cusp of opportunity to meet the existing challenges of our time and propel our great college into a new and bright future. Our challenges and opportunities are reminiscent of a speech given by John F. Kennedy at the University of California, Berkeley in 1962. He spoke about the great challenges of his time and the importance of education and knowledge. He concluded his speech with the following quote: "I am reminded of the story of Marshal Laité, a French soldier statesman, who once asked a gardener to plant a certain tree. The gardener objected. He stated that the tree was slow growing and would not reach maturity for 100 years. And in response, the gardener was told, in that case, there is no time to lose. Plant it this afternoon." Today, a world of knowledge, a world of cooperation, a just and lasting peace may well be years away, but we have no time to lose. Let us plant roots this very afternoon. Those words spoken by President Kennedy in 1962 about no time to lose and planting roots this very afternoon are befitting for all of us here today, not only to celebrate and recognize the future, but also to recognize the joys and the wonders and the challenges faced by our predecessors. 50 years ago, a group of pioneers set out to create an institution of higher learning to serve our great community. It grew out of the storefronts in downtown Canandaigua to that campus on the hill, and from a campus on that hill to an institution with multiple campuses serving multiple cities and multiple counties. 50 years ago, with no time to lose, a tree was planted. A tree now symbolized in our wonderful new college seal that was just approved. A seal with a wondrous oak tree, along with the Finger Lakes, now placed on all diplomas and certificates of our graduates. That oak tree symbolizes not only the pursuit of knowledge, it also represents the efforts of our pioneer predecessors beginning 50 years ago and longer. But we cannot rest on our laurels and history. It is time again to pursue even greater heights for our college through all kinds of educational methods and programs existing and yet to be developed, to change lives and to find even new and better ways to serve our community. I stand here deeply honored to work with each and every one of you today to create and achieve dreams and to make a difference for our students and our community. While we may not know what our great college will look like in the next 50 years, we too have no time to lose. So I ask you, let us here in the Finger Lakes plant roots this very afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nye. We look forward to your continued leadership. I now invite Donna Mihalik, Chair of the Board of Trustees, to begin our messages of congratulations.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Finger Lakes Community College, I am thrilled to offer President Nye our warmest congratulations. The installation of a new president always brings change, a new vision, new ideas for empowering students to achieve their goals. With President Nye, what has not changed, and I am confident will not change, is FLCC's dedication to students. This is the community's college. Our faculty has a passion for teaching. Our staff has a commitment to providing a safe and supportive learning environment. We are here for everyone, from the recent high school graduate who is just starting out on an educational journey to the adult student who's turning over a new leaf. Certainly, as you've heard from Dr. Nye's remarks, and what the Board of Trustees is keenly aware of, is Dr. Nye has a heart for students. He cherishes the diversity of our students, and he truly understands and appreciates that each person who walks through our doors has a unique story, and that we at the college have a unique responsibility to work with each student. And so Dr. Nye is committed to building connections within the college community and throughout the Finger Lakes region to make the best use of our combined resources on behalf of our students. As we approach our 50th anniversary, I am so proud of all that FLCC has become. And I eagerly anticipate all that is yet to come under the inspired and insightful leadership of President Nye. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Mihalik. Our next two speakers will represent the Finger Lakes community. We will hear first from Jack Marin, Chairman of the Ontario County Board of Supervisors, followed by retired New York State Senator Michael Nizzolio.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Ontario County Board of Supervisors, I am pleased to welcome President Robert Nye. Ontario County is proud of its sponsorship of FLCC, which has surpassed the hopes of supervisors who voted to create the college in 1965. Finger Lakes Community College is a critical part of Ontario County's thriving economy and enviable quality of life. Most of its 27,000 graduates live, work, and volunteer in the region, improving the community with their knowledge and skills. The college increasingly serves as a gathering place and cultural center, fostering the web of connections we celebrate today. Thank you, Dr. Nye, for joining our community and selflessly committing your time and effort to making it a better place. I am pleased to invite my former colleague, Michael Nizzolio, who represented the Finger Lakes in Albany for more than 30 years, to share his remarks.
Thank you, Chairman Marin. Chancellor Johnson, President Nye, government and community leaders, Senator Helming, distinguished Finger Lakes community board of directors, trustees, faculty, staff, alumni, and current students. Chancellor Johnson, it's so fitting that your very first visit to the Finger Lakes region is here at Finger Lakes Community College, a place where the futures of our region begin for so many. I'm very honored to be asked to speak about a proven leader, one who lives every day by the words of the military credo, duty, honor, country. A genuine American patriot, a passionate educator. These are the words that come to mind and I believe best describe Dr. Robert Nye, Colonel, retired United States Army. But before we extend words of congratulations to Dr. Nye on this great occasion of his inauguration, I wish to first congratulate the Finger Lakes Community College Board of Trustees for having the insight and wisdom to select Dr. Nye to lead the college into the decades ahead. Congratulations, board members. You have selected a gem. After getting to know Dr. Nye this last year, I have every confidence that he will lead. Lead, he will. Dr. Nye has already demonstrated that leadership in many positive directions. I witnessed firsthand how he has not only solidified a number of the college's long-standing relationships, but also established exciting new additional partnerships that will serve to enhance both the Finger Lakes Community College and the entire Finger Lakes region. It's clear Dr. Nye cares about FLCC, and he cares about the Finger Lakes, and brings the correct mix of qualities that exemplify passionate leadership. He first and foremost is a great listener, always on the lookout for a good idea or to uncover a problem that needs to be solved. It is clear Dr. Nye possesses the essential curiosity and caring that enhances his ability to learn about the issues and discover potential solutions. Above all, throughout his life and career, Dr. Nye has demonstrated he possesses the essential elements of leadership, and that is courage. The preeminent statesman Winston Churchill described courage as the most important of all human qualities because it's the quality that guarantees all others. In the months and in the years ahead, expect Dr. Nye to project those qualities on decisions and directions the college must face, big and small. And I'm confident he will lead FLCC with the skill, passion, and conviction he has exemplified throughout his life of service to his family, his community, his students, and the entire nation. Congratulations, Bob. It's my honor to know you, and on behalf of the community, my thanks to you again, and to the FLCC Board of Trustees for selecting such a fine person to lead this great institution. Thank you very much.
As we conclude our congratulatory messages, we are delighted to hear from individuals who've had the privilege of working with Dr. Nye before he became president at FLCC, starting with Professor Charles D. Allen of the Army War College.
Good afternoon. I am humbled and honored to be here today for the inauguration of Dr. Robert Nye as president of Finger Lakes Community College. That has a nice ring to it, Rob, doesn't it? I had a beautiful drive up here yesterday afternoon to this wonderful region, and has revived memories for me of my 7 years studying and teaching in the Hudson Valley at West Point in New York. I bring you greetings from the Army War College in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. There's where I first met Rob over a dozen years ago when he had dark hair. Then he was an Army colonel selected to attend our most senior professional military education institution. As you have read or heard from his biographical sketch, at that point in his military career, Rob was a top-performing officer soldier who excelled in many challenging, important assignments and locations. As a student and an emerging national security professional, Rob took the charge of our U.S. Army War College founder, Elihu Root, to heart. In 1902, the former Secretary of War, Secretary of State, and Nobel Peace Prize winner for international justice proclaimed to our nation that our college existed not to promote war, but to preserve peace through adequate preparation to repel aggression, and that we should study and confer on the great problems of national security, military science, and responsible command. Rob embraced that charge to understand the values and abide by the first principles of our nation, to develop and have expert knowledge and be a professional in his chosen craft, and to be a responsible steward of those things entrusted to his care: money, equipment, and organizations. Most important were the people. He was ultimately responsible for their lives and their livelihoods. My first experience with then Colonel Rob Nye began in the spring of 2005 when he enrolled in my creative leadership elective. I looked back through my electronic files and reread 3 of his journals for the course. I found the writings of an introspective mind and of a certain leader committed to self-development. An highly accomplished military officer, Rob was selected for the Professor, United States Army War College program, and slated to begin his 2 years of doctoral studies at the University of Kansas that summer. As a result of his own self-reflection, he made the strategic choice to pursue an academic career and to return to our institution. He saw this career transition as a way to give back to his profession, to educate and develop leaders and national security professionals of the future. He joined me as a teaching colleague in our Department of Command, Leadership, and Management, and was quickly identified not only as an exemplary teacher, but one who exhibits the competencies of strategic leadership. In our War College Strategic Leadership Primer, we have proposed 3 major activities required of a senior leader: to provide vision, to shape alignment, and to lead and manage change. Rob strove to see the big picture and then help our leaders select and map out a direction to follow. He sought to create with others a shared vision of where to go and how to get there. And as Rob provided advice to our senior leaders, both uniformed and civilian, he ensured first principles, you might want to call those values, were understood and followed, and then worked to align the organization's structures and processes as well as our colleagues' behavior and the organizational culture. To gain alignment, Rob helped determine relevant and value-added structures from those that were not. In doing so, he helped us identify and target those things to change or divest so that we could achieve our shared vision. When Rob was selected to be our deputy dean and then the War College's first deputy provost, he had the opportunity to put into practice that which we taught as theories and concepts to our students. He also transitions from the role of faculty to administrator. In that capacity, Rob was responsible for executing the vision of our college president, in our case, a 2-star general, with the faculty members who can be very set in their ways. Could that happen here? We had strategic initiatives, reorganizations, and curriculum reviews with the challenges and tensions they bring among administrators, faculty, and staff. Through it all, Rob was a trusted practitioner of transparency and collaboration toward our common purpose, to provide strategic leaders and ideas invaluable to the nation and to the joint force. Upon his retirement from 30 years of uniformed military service, Rob left his safety and comfort zones to serve as Vice President of Academic Affairs at Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology. There he worked with a vastly different demographics of his faculty and student bodies. I suspect that he applied the same framework of understanding what were the first principles for the education of students, developing the expertise of faculty and staff, and being a responsible student for the institution and its people. Rob reached back to his War College faculty to tap into and share our perspectives and techniques with the faculty of Thaddeus Stevens College. I was glad to be a part of that effort and assist. His primary concerns then were to build cohesion within the cohort of incoming students, as well as ensuring that the institution and its faculty were invested in the success of those students. When Rob accepted the position here at Finger Lakes Community College, he once again reached back to Carlisle to access our experience and expertise in strategic planning and change management. We were happy to support that effort again. For Rob, this time was different. Rather than executing the vision of some other leader, he sought to develop a shared vision of what FLCC should be. And in doing so, I suspect he is cultivating the great ideas that you have and then empowering you as a staff and faculty to ensure the structures and processes are aligned to achieve your shared vision. And he knows that you are the ones to lead and manage change that really matters. With your indulgence, I'll take the liberty of reading parts of your own mission and vision statement. Mission: FLCC serves as a dynamic learning resource, empowering our students to succeed and fueling the cultural and economic vitality of the region. Vision: FLCC will offer an educational environment that is intentionally designed to engage our students as learners and propel them to completion. I am fully confident that Dr. Robert Nye will lead you to the successful attainment of both your vision and your mission. The author of Servant Leadership in the Workplace identifies 3 key priorities, principles, and practices of servant leaders. The priorities are developing people, trusting team building, achieving results. The principles: service first, persuasion, empowerment. And then the practices are listening, delegating, and connecting followers to the mission. In accord with these attributes, it is clear to me that Rob Nye is an exemplar of servant leadership. I've been proud to call him my friend and colleague for these many years. I look forward to the great things that he would do for you here at Finger Lakes Community College. It's been my honor to speak to you at this important occasion. Rob and Sue, congratulations, and I wish you strength and wisdom for your future adventures. I'm still proud to serve with you, Rob. Take care, and thank you.
Our final speaker is Dr. William Griscom, 10th President of Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology, where Dr. Nye previously served as Vice President for Academic Affairs.
When Rob asked me to make some remarks at his inauguration, I immediately agreed for 2 reasons. First, as most, if not all of you know, Rob's a great guy, a consummate professional, a natural leader, lovely wife, Suzanne, a wonderful family. But there was another reason. Finding competent senior leadership in higher education today is extremely difficult, if not impossible. It appears in all the literature and on the agenda of every conference and meeting. There's a critical shortage of qualified leadership in higher education, caused in large part by the complex and difficult issues such as decreasing state funding resulting from an aging population, competition for funds from underfunded pension plans, health care, deteriorating infrastructure, and K-12 education. Fewer students are graduating from high school today because of the demographics, which increases the competition to have full enrollment. Increasing accountability and demands for more reports and data from the state and federal government and numerous agencies and accrediting bodies. The need to raise more funds from the private sector, foundations, and philanthropists. Contentious negotiations with multiple labor unions. Significant capital debt from the past that must be serviced from shrinking operating budgets. Pressure to contain tuition and fees to make college affordable. Escalating textbook and software costs. increasing numbers of students who are underprepared for college, increasing numbers of students with special needs such as Asperger's, mental health, autism, social communication disorders, substance abuse issues, many that often require significant and expensive accommodations. Issues about campus climate and ambiguity regarding immigration policy in Title IX, conflicts over free speech versus safe spaces for vulnerable populations. Why did you want to do this? I mean, I got depressed when I was putting this list together. Anyway, with all these issues in a contentious, polarized political environment, any senior leadership position is challenging at best and often seems overwhelming and impossible. Simply look at the turnover rate in senior administration. Consequently, many potential leaders we previously would have cultivated and developed from the faculty have chosen to remain in the faculty rather than go into administration. I understand this, and I would be less than honest to say that there are times that I yearn for returning to the faculty and leaving these issues for someone else to solve. I was in the faculty for 25 years. In any event, 4 years ago, I was entering my 16th year as president of Thaddeus Stevens College, and I had a great vice president for academic affairs. He was my best friend. He actually chaired the search committee which hired me for my first teaching position in higher education 40 years ago. I was able to recruit him a few years later after I became president. He decided to retire, and I was concerned about finding his replacement, especially in the landscape I just described. We advertised the position nationally. We received about 100 applications. But as the search committee reviewed the applications, we only found a few that actually met the qualifications we listed in the position. Then they came across Rob's letter of application and resume, and it simply stood out above that of all the others. I have it with me, and I'm going to read a few of the qualifications and accomplishments that caught our attention. I'm sure that caught Steve's attention and the attention of the search committee here. An Army Ranger, the oldest unit in the military, completing basic and advanced courses in Air Assault School, Jump Master School, Airborne School, Command and General School. Is that where you jump out of airplanes voluntarily when the airplane's not crashing? Yeah, okay, well, whatever. Okay. Bachelor's in Business Administration from the University of Arizona, master's from Cornell in Public Administration, a second master's degree from the Army War College in Strategic Studies, PhD from the University of Kansas in Public Administration, assistant professor at Cornell, Battalion Chief of Staff, 3rd Infantry Regiment, Brigade Chief of Staff, Operations Republic of Kosovo, Chief of Current Operations, Combined Joint Task Force in Afghanistan, Chief Strategist for the Deputy Commanding General for Advising and Training in Iraq, and Deputy Provost for the Army War College. These assignments and positions covered a wide range of skills from strategic planning to managing a budget of over $4 billion. The only concern that I had and the search committee had was their perception of his strong military background. As much as we appreciated his service, he was 30 years as an Army officer. He was a full-bird colonel. We're thinking, okay, you're pretty used to giving commands. Are you able to listen to people? Would he ever listen? That was the question that we had. However, after we interviewed him and everybody else, we were convinced that this would not be an issue and that he was a perfect fit. Rob hit the ground running. He listened, he built consensus, and was totally student-centered. Rob has a deep and personal concern for students, especially those who are under-resourced. He has an incredible work ethic. He was the first one at the college in the morning. It made me feel guilty. He was there before me. He was there after I left. In short, he initiated a number of innovations, including significant infusion of technology in our classrooms and our laboratories. He coordinated the preparation of our best ever Middle States Accreditation self-study, which ultimately led to our reaccreditation with no requirements and 2 commendations. He initiated our certificate programs in welding and foundry that evolved into associate degree programs. He oversaw several faculty searches that yielded excellent results, which will benefit our college for several decades to come. Under his leadership, the college received its largest ever grant of $2 million from the United States Department of Labor. We hosted the governor's first statewide high school STEM competition, and we significantly strengthened our industrial advisory committees. I said there were 2 reasons that I was happy to accept this invitation today to speak. The second one is, as you can see, things were really going well at our college. We had a great vice president in a very difficult area to create good leadership. Everything was going well on all fronts, and then you came and you stole him from us. So Steve, I am not very happy with you. But we are happy for you, and we congratulate you on the excellent choice you've made for your fifth president as president, Dr. Robert Nye. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Griscom, for sharing your connections. I am proud to introduce our wonderful student singers once again to perform the FLCC alma mater. It was commissioned for the inauguration of the college's fourth president, Dr. Barbara G. Risser, in 2008. Following the alma mater, Lori Vale, instructor of English and graduate of the Colgate-Rochester Crozer Divinity School, will close our ceremony with the benediction.
Community
Please pray with me. God of unity, in this space of sacred diversity, teach us to be one, even as we tend to each other as individuals worthy of honor and respect. God of love, in this place of perseverance, remind us to approach our tasks with as much joy as grit. God of compassion, in this beloved community of learners and doers, make us grateful for every soul's contribution to the whole, whether we are planting flowers, planning the future, or passing exams. God of creation, you want for us a future in which we understand who we are and how we impact one another and our world. With humble hearts, we ask your blessings on this college and its work, so that we may be your peace on this holy planet. Amen.
Please remain seated for the academic recessional, which brings to a close this installation ceremony. You are cordially invited to attend a reception for President Nye and his family in the Finger Lakes Cafe on the second floor of the Student Center. On behalf of Dr. Nye, I extend a sincere thank you for joining us today to celebrate a new beginning in the history of Finger Lakes Community College. Will those in the academic recessional please rise?
Thank you.